Dear student, today I am going to deliver a lecture on a religious sonnet. The title of that sonnet is Death Be Not Abrupt. This sonnet is composed by Donne. Donne is one of the greatest metaphysical and religious poets in English language. He is the founder of Metaphysical school. The leaders of this movement were Donne and Ben Jonson. The poetry of Donne is remarkable for its fusion of emotions and feeling. Death Be Not Abrupt is a so remarkable poem. There is a remarkable fusion of emotion and feeling. The question came in your mind, or who is the first person who applied this term to Donne? It was the Dreadfull who was first applied this term to the connection of Donne's poetry. And he says, Donne's poetry affects the metaphysics. But if we look towards the poetry of Donne, whether Donne is really a metaphysical poet? Some critics say that it is not so. And it is also true. Metaphysical poetry is a long, while Donne's poetry is a short, and they do not expound in a physical system of the universe. But his poems are metaphysical in true sense if we consider his poems from the point of view of technique and style. Then there are certain characteristics which show Donne's poetry is metaphysical. The first and most important characteristic is it is complex and difficult in nature. It is intellectual tone, because all the metaphysical poets were learned poets. It brings together heterogeneous ideas, such as abstract and concrete, remote and near, nature and science. It is with full conceits. Conceits means excessive use of similes and metaphors. It is abrupt in nature. It is argumentive. If we applied all these features to the poetry of Donne, we come to the conclusion that Donne is a metaphysical poet. After considering some information of the poet, then I will be consider the next point, that is, Donne's poetry may be divided into two groups. One is secular poetry and second is religious poetry. Secular poetry comprises songs and sonnets, the satires, the elegies, the progress of the soul, and the anniversaries, while religious poetry comprises divine poems and holy sonnets. Then I will teach you this sonnet. The opening lines of the poem has a personification quality. The poet is addressing to the death. This poem is also known as Sonnet 10. He wrote this poetry in the year 1633. The poem opens with, "Death be not wrath, though some have called thee mighty and dreadful, for thou art not so." In the opening lines, the poet addresses to the death and says that, "Death, you should not be proud." Though some people consider that you are so powerful, dreadful, and dangerous, but poet says that you are not so. Here, poet applied the Christian doctrine. Death is not the end of life, but it is the beginning of a new life. Then again the poet says, "For those whom thou thinkst thou dost overthrow, die not, poor death, nor yet canst thou kill me." Then the poet says that, or he proves his point by giving argument after argument. He says, for those whom death is supposed to kill, but they are not killed in reality. Death, you are a poor. You have no power to kill the human beings or beings. But people suppose. Then the poet again says, "From rest and sleep, which but thy pictures be, much pleasure then from thee much more must flow." Here the poet compares the death with the sleep. Just as we also get some pleasure and happiness after the sleep, the poet says the death is also like the sleep. And after that, we must also get pleasures and happiness after the death. Means here, the poet uses the simile and compares the death with the sleep. Sleep has the power. Death has also the power. Then the poet again says, "Rest of their bones, and soonest our best men with thee do go. Rest of their bones and souls deliveries." The poet again says that the person who die in the engage, they are the real virtuous person, because death breathed their soul from their bodies. The body is the prison for the soul, and the soul become free from the bodies after the death. So poet says that it is a virtuous, or it is very good to die before or early. Now the poet again says, "Thou art slave to fate, chance, kings, and desperate men, and dosed with a poison, war, and the sickness dwell." Here poet says that, "Death, you are not the powerful. Just a king is the powerful. But you are the slave of the chance, of the war, of the old age, of the wicked person, and of the sickness. You are not an agent. You are not so powerful. but you are the slave of all those things. And poppies or charms can make us slave as well, and better than thy shock. Why well thou then? Then poet says that just a coffin have a quality of interjection. Death is also like the coffin. In the last line, again the poet says, once our sleep past, we wake eternally, and death shall be no more. Death, thou shalt die. In the last, the poet says that death means sleep. Thus, a longer sleep, or from the sleep of the sleep in the graveyard, we will awake, and we will be entered into the world. That word is eternal, and there the death could not to reach us. So the poem ends with a paradox. Death, thou shalt die. Death, you are not killing to us, but death does not kill us, or it kills itself. Here, the poet says that death is an instrument. Death is also awaiting the chance. Accident, wicked person, miserable condition, old age, and another thing. If we look towards this poem, a sonnet, we will find that there is a remarkable fusion of emotions and feeling, or unification of sensibility. The poet uses the similes, and the personification quality in the opening of the poem, death, be not proud. And then there is another poem, there is another line that is also best for its alliteration. And such is the view of the genre relating to the death. If you like it, please like my video. Thanks.